Hello ladies and gents, welcome back to another Pro Evolution Soccer 2020 tutorial with your host Spinny Pizzas. And today I'm going to be sharing with you 10 attacking tips that's hopefully going to increase your chances of scoring against the legendary AI. So the first thing I want to talk about is the delayed dynamic 1-2. But before I cover that, let's just talk about how I build my attacks. Generally they are in the wide areas, whether that's with your fullback positions or your wide attackers. And the reason for this is because it drags your opponent's team across the field, and it also creates gaps in between their players, as you can see here marked out with the white arrows. So, and also what you're going to find is you generally drag their team across the pitch as well, leaving space for your right midfielders or opposite wingers. In this example, you can see the right back of my Atletico Madrid team has all that space if I wanted to switch the play. Okay, so dynamic 1-2 is where you hold the player select button and press the pass button. This triggers your player run and he will drive into that space. And then you generally, before your receiving player gets the ball, you press the triangle, your through ball, and they receive that ball back. But a delayed dynamic 1-2 is where you take a touch, and this touch is for a reason. It's to basically drag the nearest defender that I've circled in red there out of defense, because there's a little bit of a gap between my player receiving the ball and the sort of midfielder closing me down. So I realize there's a little bit of space there to actually take that touch, and that's going to, like I said, pull that defender out, and then I can then play the through ball, giving my midfielder bursting through more time to take a touch and finish. So another delayed dynamic 1-2 again being displayed here by Chelsea. Now William plays the ball. Instead of playing the through ball straight away, take the touch. Not only does that draw out the defender, but it also increases your accuracy of the pass. Certainly if you're on PA1 like myself, you need to be able to actually set the ball, and this is going to give you greater accuracy with your passing. And here you can see I've just won the ball back quite quickly, so this is going to be a bit of a quicker attack where I'm not building through the wide area. But again, take the touch, play the through ball. Okay, I got a little bit lucky, but you make your own luck. So one more example here against Manchester City. Again, finding a nice ball in between midfield and defence, take the touch. Again, a little bit fortunate, but it all came off that delayed dynamic 1-2. One of the most infuriating things that I see when I watch other people play is when they're in this position, they're so quick to play like a long through ball over the top, hoping their striker's going to run onto it. Whereas what I tend to do is if I'm in between defence and midfield in this position, I'm under no threat. I can wait for a defender to come out to me, perhaps creating a bit of a gap for my striker. So what I'm going to do, certainly if you've got a quick player or a strong player like I have here with Dzeko, is just drive at their defence and ask questions and see what they can do to sort of deal with Dzeko running at them. Now he is going to get caught because he is a slow player, but you can see there he's going to hold him off. And then look what's opening up right here. A gap in between those two centre backs. The right back and the left back are split, leaving my striker one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and it's an easy finish. When attacking, you want to look for telltale signs, and in this area that I marked is usually quite a good area for a lofted through ball that you can sort of bend into your striker. And Dzeko, you can see there that I've circled, has got his arm raised. This is a good sign. This means you've got about a split second or two to play this ball. If you delay it too long, his arm will come down and then he'll back off and you'll just play a ball into space and he won't run onto it. But with his arm raised, he will actually run onto the ball and try to get a shot off, as you can see here. And here's another example of the lofted through ball with a player running in between the centre back and full back positions. Okay, so in this next clip, what we're going to be trying to do is lure the player tracking my midfielder's run away, and that will hopefully release my midfielder to break past their defenders unmarked. So I take a deliberate touch there just to draw him in a little bit, and then play a through ball back across in front of that player that was marking my man, just to entice him a little bit more. And look how much space now that midfielder's got through on goal. When creating chances, just make sure that you're on your player's favoured foot before you shoot, and from a decent angle as well. You can see here I do get pushed wide. I'm not going to be able to score from that angle. It's far too easy for the goalkeeper, so always try to look for other players in and around the box who may be in a better position with better stats for shooting, like Ronaldo in this example. When you're a few goals up, you're going to notice more spaces appearing in between the defensive lines, as you're seeing here. And certainly, again, I started this build up in the wide positions, but what we're going to be talking about here is the turn and shoot, which is what the AI do. So you see you take a touch to shield the ball, take a second touch to turn some sort of facing 90 degrees, and then you shoot. In this example, he saves it, but there's a few other examples where I do exactly the same. So you literally just play it into your striker, touch, touch, shoot. And one final example, play it into your striker, touch, touch, and shoot. And it's in the back of the net. And this works online as well. Now, when it comes to crossing, you want to be inside the penalty box. This drastically increases your chances of scoring. And if you are going to do a cross, then I recommend the low-driven cross, unless you have got a very dominant, tall, powerful striker in the air. But generally, if you're in these positions here, I would use the driven cross, because the lofty crosses, early crosses, all tend to, there's quite a low chance of scoring headers in this game this year, so it doesn't really pay to cross it in. Now, on legend difficulty, it is very, very hard to win the ball high up the pitch, but with this formation that I was playing with Atletico Madrid, I was able to actually do that with the two centre forwards and the SS, the support striker, who actually ends up scoring. So it can be done, but it is pretty rare. Definitely check out that Atletico Madrid formation in the best formation and tactics playlist on my channel. Generally, when I am in these wide areas, even with space where I could cross the ball, I've got Martial and Rashford in the middle. There's no point crossing to them because they're going to get beaten in the air. So just cycle the ball backwards in those wide areas, play it to your players here, and then spaces are going to start opening up, as you can see here. And you want to use the disguised through ball. So that's where you press the shoot and then the through ball button straight after. That's one of the most overpowered through balls against legend difficulty AI. I find it really difficult to deal with. Now, I've covered this off in my Ultimate Weapon tutorial and also the improved first touch tutorial, where I'm using Super Cancel and watch this defender here just kick in thin air, allow me time and space to place the finish past the goalkeeper. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes this tutorial. Hope you found that useful. For the 10 attacking tips, hopefully it's going to improve your game against legend difficulty, or perhaps some of the lesser difficulties as well. If you got any questions, drop a comment below, and don't forget to smash like, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe and support the channel. Thank you very much, everyone. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.